How do you feel when you look in the mirror? Are you excited? Are you happy? Do you love what you see? Are you fit, strong, healthy, lean, energetic, and you can't wait to start your day, or you've just had a great day, you've looked in the mirror and went, wow, I've had an awesome day today? Or do you get angry, frustrated, annoyed because you don't like what you see in the mirror? And then what do you do about it? Do you just close your eyes? There's a lot of people in my life who have shared with me that as they got fatter and more unhealthy and didn't like what was going on with their body, they just bought a smaller mirror. So they just have a little face mirror to be able to put their makeup on or shave their face, make sure that their hair's not messy, but they don't want to look at the rest of their body. Interesting way to live. If you were to stand stark naked in front of the mirror on a very sunny day, and today it's a beautiful, brilliant sunny day, obviously not going to stand here stark naked, but if you were to be really honest and you look in the mirror and say, okay, what can I change, what can't I change? And if you can change it, do you want to? Do you want to have a body that is fit, strong, lean, energetic, and you can do all the things that you want to do? Or do you have to accept the fact that if you eat crappy food and you don't do any exercise and you have a negative attitude, you don't sleep well, you don't get fresh air and sunshine, that you can't love what you see in the mirror? It's not possible. There's no such thing as a healthy, unfit person. Health comes from strong bones, strong muscles, strong endocrine hormonal system, central nervous system, digestive system, immune system. They all work together. That's what fitness is. A body that works together effectively, a fit body. And of course you can't get really fit if you're not strong. And a strong body means you've got great posture, which is obviously great for looking in the mirror because you've got muscles that are holding your bones up. You've got a strong immune system, which means you're going to be healthy for the rest of your life because strong muscles pulling on bones and a strong immune system means that you can fight germs, bugs, viruses and diseases. So you're very unlikely to get sick. And if you do get sick, you can fight those challenges and get rid of them really quickly. And if it's some kind of horrible disease that you've gotten rid of, it's very unlikely to come back. See, I get excited about that when I look in the mirror because every day of my life is dedicated to being as healthy, fit, strong, lean and energetic as I can possibly be. But that's a personal choice, isn't it? I can't complain about the result I didn't get from the work I didn't do. And a lot of people do that, don't they? They blame, I'm too busy, I've got children. I'm going to use that as a very uncomfortable, awkward question. I've had so many women share with me, because I've been a health, exercise, health club manager, been involved with the human body for all of my life. I've never done anything else. And I've had a lot of people make excuses and justify why they're not healthy. But a lot of women will share with me, I'm unhealthy because, or I'm out of shape because, or I'm fat because I've had children and I never lost the weight after I had my kids. Now this uncomfortable question is something that I'm going to ask, and I always ask my personal results coach clients who share with me, I can't lose weight, it's not possible. If somebody held a gun to your children's head, not yours, your children's head, and said, if you don't get into great shape, if you don't get healthy for your kids, we're going to kill your kids. Now that's a very strong and very controversial and harsh question. But I use this example all the time. If I don't look after my dogs, the animal control will come and take my dogs off me. If I'm not exercising them, if they're not eating food, if they're not drinking water, if they're not being looked after, they all get taken off me. If we don't look after our children, we're ruining their lives, aren't we? If you're not healthy, fit and strong, lean, energetic, and you can't play with your kids, you can't take them out doing fun activities and playing sport because you're not fit and you're not strong and you're out of shape, then where does that leave our children? And it's just an interesting observation. I don't have any children, but now I invest a lot of time with other people's children and I really enjoy the experience. And this is very personal, I'm going to share with you why. Because kids haven't been wrecked yet. They're still dreaming, they're still fearless, they still climb mountains, they still open things up and go, I wonder what's in there. They're really curious. They ask lots and lots of questions. My 5 and 6-year-old kids from our martial arts club, they ask me the most amazing questions because they're curious. As humans, we've stopped asking questions. We believe some social media influencer that says eat this and exercise this way, and we don't even question whether or not that would work. And then we blame the program. We say, well, I didn't lose any weight, so it must be the program. Or I didn't get into shape, so it must be the advice that I was given. So we can blame and justify and make excuses. Rather than, how about get your body into great shape because you learn how your own body works. I love this example somebody shared with me that they are becoming a top-level exercise professional, investing the money to become a top-level exercise professional because they don't want to waste money anymore on a gym membership or pills, powders and potions or a personal trainer. They don't know whether or not that's working. And that's a really interesting thing, isn't it? You can do an exercise program, you can try an eating plan or both, and you can get to the end of the 6, 8, 10-week period and it hasn't worked. Or, a better question, if it doesn't work for the rest of your life, has it really worked? A lot of people share with me, I've lost weight, I've got into great shape, and then they just put the weight back on again, they get out of shape again, they're unhealthy again. That means that thing didn't work. Because if it really worked, wouldn't you be healthy, fit, strong, lean, energetic for the rest of your life? So that you can look in the mirror, because I'm an old lady, and when I look in the mirror now, it's a different picture than when I was 20, obviously. And ripped abdominals and tight butt cheeks and looking gorgeous in a bikini were very important when I was 20. Now that I'm an old lady, I want to wake up every day with energy. I want to jump out of bed with enthusiasm. I want to be able to run my dogs every day. I want to be able to hike and bike and climb mountains and swim in ice cold lakes because I live in the South Island of New Zealand. I have a 20-acre garden. I want to be able to lift and carry and chop and I'm constantly lifting logs and rocks. I want the energy to do that. I want to be able to do that for a long time. So I've got to be fit and I've got to be strong. I have to take responsibility for my life so that I can love what I see in the mirror. So if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, could it be a great question to ask? What do I have to do to change it? Or you have to accept that you look like that for a reason and that your quality of life is not going to stay the same as it is now. If you have no energy, if you're out of shape, if you don't perform at your best, and then you don't change your activities, that ridiculous quote, well, it is ridiculous if you don't do it. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result, that's just called ridiculous. That's insanity. If you want something to change, you have to change. If you don't like what you see in the mirror, you have to do something different. Now, you either accept what you see in the mirror, but you have to accept that it's not going to stay that way because next week, next month, next year, 10 years from now, what you see today is going to be much, much worse. You'll either be skinny, weak and frail and can't do anything because your body's wasted away, or you'll be fat, sick, weak and frail because you put on a stack of weight because you haven't done anything. Now, these are very harsh, controversial things, but as an old lady, here's what I'm really sick and tired of hearing. I'm sick and tired. I hear that all the time. I'm really sick, I'm really tired, I haven't got any energy, I'm overweight, I don't feel like doing anything. Well, what are you going to do about it? First of all, does whinging, moaning and complaining help? Of course not. But if you really want to do something about it, can you? The answer is yes. And it doesn't matter when you start, and I always use my mother as an example. My mother started strength training, boxing, sprint training on the beach, swimming in the ocean with a stack of energy, like literally swimming hard, when she was 74 years of age. At 80 years of age, we'd gotten rid of her osteoporosis, her coronary heart disease, her type 2 diabetes and her asthma, and she was living like a healthy, fit, strong woman again. At 80, everybody in her family died under the age of 65 or 60 from coronary heart disease, and my mother died peacefully in her sleep at 98. See, that's a choice. At 74, my mother made a choice to listen to my gorgeous husband, who's an exercise scientist, exercise physiologist, biomechanist, who said, if you want strong bones, if you want strong muscles, if you don't want to end up in a wheelchair and die early with poor quality of life, then you've got to do something about it. So if you don't like what you see in the mirror, are you going to do something about it? If you don't, you have to accept that it's going to get worse. It's not going to stay the same. So if you want to live your life to the max, get fit, get strong, get puff, lift heavy, do it safe so you don't get hurt, do it fast so you don't get bored, and make sure you're doing something that works so that you don't get demotivated. And then you can look in the mirror and be happy with what you see. Live your life to the max. Woohoo! Check out my bathroom. Love looking in the mirror.